Hello, this is New Forward Online. Sometimes we can hear an expression that in fact has become a collocation, the point of no return. In aviation, to pass the point of no return means to lose the opportunity to come back to the place where the journey has started, since so much fuel has been used up that with the kerosene left, the aircraft cannot either return to the departure airfield or to the alternate airfield. In nuclear physics or chemistry, point of no return means the moment where a reaction becomes irreversible. What is the point of no return in private life? It is love and the moment of the final separation. In recent history, such a point of no return was, for example, the October Revolution of 1917, and no matter how much you regret the Russian Empire now, it can no longer be resurrected. World War II is another point of no return. By 1939, as a result of the crisis of the world order, the foundations of which had been laid at the end of the First World War, two military political blocs of great powers were formed, in which Great Britain and France opposed Germany and Italy. The USSR and the USA took a wait-and-see attitude. They expected to use the war between these blocs to their advantage. The result of the war for the redistribution of the world was the condemnation of Nazism, the creation of a new world order, and the establishment of the United Nations. The collapse of the ideology of Bolshevism and the USSR is also a moment where it was impossible to return to the regional state. In the transition period of development of any system, from ecological to social, where there is an irreversible change in the state or meaning, this moment is called the bifurcation point. A bifurcation point is a critical state of a system where the system becomes unstable relative to fluctuations and uncertainty arises, whether the state of the system will become chaotic or it will move to a new, more differentiated or higher level of order. Simply put, it is a closed door to the past, a breach burned behind us. There is no turning back. Trigger the onset point of no return is always some trifle. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand by a Serbian nationalist Gavrila Princip, a mythical volley by cruiser Aurora, a Glavichka provocation that gave rise to the German attack on Poland on the 1st of September 1939, the ridiculous attempt senile putsch in August 1991, the virus with no evil intentions, later found in a bath, eaten by a poor, hapless citizen on the outskirts of the IT capital of China. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said in her address to the nation in March 2020 that because of the coronavirus, Germany faces such a serious challenge which has not been seen since the Second World War.
Deswegen lassen Sie mich sagen, es ist ernst. Nehmen Sie es auch ernst. Seit der deutschen Einheit, nein, seit dem Zweiten Weltkrieg, gab es keine Herausforderung an unser Land mehr.
Slowly but surely, the realization is coming that now, in the midst of the pandemic, we've reached another point of no return. This applies to the barbaric attitude to the environment leading to a global catastrophe, and business, where the basis of labor relations will be remote work and not the team spirit of office plankton, and education, with which everything begins. First of all, in the field of education, there should be an understanding that all previous approaches need to be radically revised. And I'm not just talking about the role of distance learning. The policy of the New Forward Language School has always, since its foundation, been an individual approach to each student. This phrase has become very common and worn out, but we've always put a literal meaning in it. Conveyor, incubator training in foreign languages is a commercial profanation of the very essence of communication between people, the meaning and goals of the communicative approach in its true form and message. The language is a chamber art that requires taste, patience, and painstaking self-improvement. And learning it involves setting serious life goals. Mass participation here is as unnatural as living in human hills with alcohol markets and cheap развивашки, without normal infrastructure both for children and adults. Education is not about transferring knowledge, but about learning how to critically filter, structure and use this information. And we are not supposed to turn the school into entertainment circles, circles of interest, or pedagogical, spiritual and patriotic institutions with, well, unsavory catering into the bargain. In English, there is an idiom, to sit on the fence. A person sitting on two chairs can't choose one of them. And a person sitting on a fence doesn't know which side to jump off to. But the English idiom, unlike the Russian one, trying to sit on two chairs, sounds somewhat naturalistic and even brutal. I often remember this idiom in connection with the pandemic and the position of officials in this situation. It's not so easy to say to yourself at the point of no return, leave. Some other time we'll analyze the Russian expression, he hasn't left himself, he's got made left.